What's up guys, my name's Liam and today we're going to be using the Crafted Mice custom base to install our Razer V2 Pro 4K internals into our Starlight-12 small 10s edition mouse. I'm going to try and keep it straight to the point and go over as many details as I can to help you decide whether or not this is something that you'd be interested in doing yourself. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to be using the 10 small version. Here's the Razer Viper V2 Pro that I'll be using. I actually got this secondhand off Amazon. And then here we got the base itself right here with all the tools inside of it. So the tools I'm going to be using today, I'm definitely going to be using this pry tool. We just remove the skates to take the shell apart. Also, another tools you're going to be needing is you're going to need a smaller screwdriver. This is a T5 head. And then you'll need a small Phillips head. This is just, I think, like an S2 PHO. And then I also got a T6 head here as well. And here's the electric screwdriver I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using an IFU electric screwdriver. I'll go ahead and put links down in the description for all these tools that I'm going to be using today as well. I got the tweezers just in case I need to pry something out or hold something in place. I got these little CHP wire cutters here. And then I got some Zippo lighter fluid here to remove the skates. All right, so starting out, I got my Starlight-12 small 10s coming in at 45.5 grams. And looks like we got my Razer Viper V2 Pro coming at 60.1, and that's with grips all around on the buttons and on the sides as well. All right, so trigger pull weight on the Starlight-12, we're getting around 1.9 to 2 ounces. All right, and the trigger pull weight on the Viper V2 Pro, we're getting around 1.819 ounces. All right, so that's what the underside of the V2 Pro looks like without skates on. You can see there it has 4 screws in each corner of the mouse. And to remove these screws, this is where you're going to be needing T6 driver head. All right, so we got the screws out, and all we got to do is we got to use our pry tool to remove the base off of the mouse. All right, so that was pretty simple. Popped right out of there. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the battery. And for this video, we are actually going to be using the stock battery for the Viper V2 Pro in this build. If you want to go for a lighter weight for the mouse, there's a bunch of different batteries you can get. You can just pick them up off Amazon. There's normally a screw right here holding down the PCB. And for whatever reason, it looks like this one does not have that screw inside of it. So I do got a screw right here where the battery was mounted. And then looks like we also got a screw right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out. And to do this, we're going to have to switch over to our Phillips screwdriver head. All right, so here's what we're looking at for the internals of the PCB. It looks like it only has those 2 screws in it. Like I said, normally it has the 3. However, this one was missing that one. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to pop this out, and I'm going to try not to touch the components on the motherboard as much as I possibly can. I'm just trying to stay on the outside of the PCB. All right, and there we go. It was as simple as that. It literally took like 2 minutes to remove that out of there. Nice and simple. So now we're ready to start getting set up for the Finalmouse. And it looks like the PCB with the scroll wheel and the side buttons on is coming in 11.8 grams. And the stock battery we have coming in at 6.7 grams. Okay, so the next step, we're going to disassemble the Starlight-12. And we got the feet off. Just so you know, with the Finalmouse, it isn't necessary to take off the top feet. The reason that I removed the top feet is because I'm going to try out the feet on the base of the Crafted Mice. We're going to be needing to use the Torque T5 screw head. Once you get this removed, there's nothing else you need to do with it. You can just store this to the side. Looks like we're coming at 26 grams with the base, side buttons, battery, full PCB installed on the Finalmouse Starlight-12. With the Crafted Mice base, we're coming in at 30.2 grams. And one thing that you have to do to install this kit is there's a little fin right here on the top of the Starlight-12. You got to use these cutters to cut that out. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way here really quick. All right, so as you can see, we cut that out of there real simple, got it removed. All right, so when you receive the base from Crafted Mice, this is what it comes with. It comes with this little box, you pull it out, it has all the tools you're gonna need inside of it. Okay, so here's everything that's included when you purchase the base here. You obviously get the base itself. The first thing it comes with here is aluminum tape, and that you can use to adjust the pre-travel on your buttons if you wish to. It comes with some tape, and this is to hold down the battery. This is a little Crafted Mice tool that you can use to power on and off the mouse. Inside it comes with 4 dot skates. These are the screws to hold the base in place. So it looks like this copy actually comes with 4 sets of thicknesses, and these are to actuate your switches. So there's a thin one, it goes from thinnest to thickest. So now that we got that out of the way, let's install the Viper V2 PCB into the base. You place the PCB against this part sticking out on the base, and then it just kind of falls into place there, and just make sure that you watch the scroll wheel. And there's going to be 2 screws to screw down the PCB onto the base, and we're actually just going to use the exact same screws that we use to take apart the Viper V2 Pro with the Phillips head screwdriver in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with the thinnest version and try it there and decide if I need to work my way up. All right, so here's what it looks like when we have the right side installed. Make sure that works there. All right, and here's what it looks like when we got the left side installed. I want to say really quick, it looks like he actually redesigned these switches here. There's a lot more space between the actual switch and the piece itself, so I'm liking this. And actually, the weight on it, when you push it down, it feels much better, much cleaner, much easier to actuate. So I'm loving this new design. So you got to slide this side of the PCB into here, and then you have to get this groove on the other side of this stick right here. And for now, I'm just going to put the battery in the bottom down here and decide if I need to move that around or play around with the balance later on. All right, so part of the reason why he provides this aluminum tape here is to help you to fill the buttons, to fix a little, if you have a little bit of pre-travel or anything like that on your switches. So what you can simply do is you can just simply use these cutters and cut out a tiny little square just like that. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to separate it from the backing just like that. You can just simply apply it to the top of the switch like so. And it's that simple, applying the aluminum tape to the top of the switch. So all we need to do now is we just need to throw this in the Finalmouse base, try out the clicks, and then we could be done. All right, so everything looks great on this copy. It's nice and tight, so let's go ahead and get a weight. All right, so with the stock Razer battery in there, the dot skates, you're looking at about 50.3 grams on the mouse. All right, guys, so it looks like there has been some changes to the kit here, and I want to show you. This blue piece right here, looks like it's like the V1 version, and this black one is the newer one that I just got. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the bases together side by side. And as you can see there's a really nice change. I feel like on this one, this base went too far forward. As you can see here on this black version, it doesn't have as long as a base in the back. So it doesn't sit as tightly up against the switch, and it gives you a lot more room for this piece to move around and actuate the switch. Huge change. It makes a world of difference. And let's go ahead and do a pull weight on the triggers and see how they feel. So it looks like I'm getting a pull weight at about 2 ounces, which is pretty similar to what the stock switches were. So everything feels great and is in line where it should be. All right, so I want to go over a couple of issues that I came across when I was putting this together. First off, when you're screwing these switch pieces down, do not tighten them too much. On my copy, if I tighten them too much, there's been times where it won't actuate the switch, and it just can kind of feel kind of clunky. So, you want these to be. You want them to be snug, but you don't want to over tighten them is basically what I'm trying to say. Another thing I want to bring up is with the side buttons. So when you're inserting this side button piece, make sure that the base is pushed all the way inside of here. So with this newer version, it feels great. It feels a lot tighter. A lot of things have been buttoned up. But if you don't have these side buttons in here perfectly, or pressed back a little bit, or if you tighten down this piece too much, once you put the base together and screw everything together, these side buttons can be really tight, and you can have issues with them. So you just want to kind of play around with this. Again, make sure that you do got it tightened down. I wouldn't use an electronic screwdriver or anything like that to do the final tighten on these. I would just make sure it's nice and snug, but again, don't over tighten it. Make sure everything is pushed back in place here. Everything's where it should be. Make sure that the switches are straight when you tighten them on there. You actually get the base on the shell and you tighten it down. Just make sure that, all the buttons are working. You might need to move it around or play with it a little bit. All right, guys. So here's my final thoughts on the Crafted Mice final base, the 4K base for the Finalmouse. I think it feels phenomenal. He's made a couple of changes there, and I think the changes are great. It definitely feels much tighter overall. I'm not getting any play. There's hardly no pre-travel on my buttons. I don't know if I'm going to have to modify the switches anymore or anything like that. Everything feels great. So it does feel a little bit heavier than the stock version, as you can see, but you can always try a different battery. I'm not sure if I'm going to play around with the base plate too much. I actually like it the way that it is. It feels nice and solid. Overall feels really good, but final weight of the mouse comes in around 50 grams. And yeah, I think it's great. I want to give you guys a heads up if this is something that you're interested in doing. For some reason, the first version I got together, I feel like everything went together much easier. But with that being said, it wasn't as tight, it wasn't as refined as this version is. You do have to kind of play with it to get it where you want it to be. It's not like where I feel like you could just pick it up and you just put everything together. It's going to work perfectly. I had to play around with a couple things. I did have to switch the switches out quite a bit and stuff like that. So just a heads up. Not saying anything negative about it, but just trying to give you guys realistic expectations. In order to put this kit together, and to be completely honest with you, to probably get it perfect the way that you like it, it's going to take a few hours of playing around with it. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. There are other modders out there that actually will build this for you, so that's another option as well. But overall, I would say this product is incredible. It's great. I like how he keeps refining it, making it better. So yeah, great changes. Feels awesome. I'm super happy with the purchase, and I'm super excited to play this and check it out. So that's about it for the video today. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below. And aside from that, if you're interested in seeing more videos like this in the future, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.